Right, guys, today we're going to do a little bit about maintenance of wooden flooring, and I'm taking you through to one of our customers' houses. We've just finished laying a beautiful wooden floor, which is a oak floor, and it's a brushed floor with oil, and this floor is known as a nougat. You'll see why we call it a nougat when you walk in. So let's go inside, and we're going to go do some maintenance on this floor. Right, let's come inside. Guys, sorry, before we come in, if I can just show you this mat. It's a strategic mat. You need to have this mat here because when you walk in, you need to wipe your feet to get all the grit off your shoes before walking in, because the grit on your shoes can damage the finish on the floor. Right, so we're wiping our shoes and we're going to come in. Guys, please remember, some of the shoes today are not good for wooden floors. Leather shoes, hard sole shoes, high heel shoes, that sort of thing. Please guys, take your shoes off, train your customers, tell your customers, take off the shoes and put on some shoes that are good for inside. So I'm going to take off my shoes. I've got a pair of shoes standing by. It's an old pair of my shoes, but they're comfortable and they're good. They're not going to ruin any wooden flooring. So let me put these shoes on. Right, it wasn't so difficult. Outside shoes by the door. Oh, here we have a runner. It's quite amazing that the guys that install this floor must educate their clients of how to maintain and look after the wooden floors. This runner is in the passage. It looks great on a wooden floor. It's strategically placed because this is a high traffic area and people up and down the passage all the time. So nice to see a runner in a house on a wooden floor. I'd also like to, while we're on the subject of mats, I'd also like to show you all the other mats that have been strategically placed for the maintenance and care of this wooden floor. So let me show you the mats in the kitchen. Right, here we are in the kitchen now, guys. Please note, a mat, this is the outside kitchen door, the guys coming in here. As the guys walk in, here's a mat for them to wipe their feet and take off the dust as well. So instead of having a mat only on the outside, it's also good to have a mat on the inside as well. Right, here we have the sink. This is really a high traffic. Now people think walking is high traffic. What's high traffic really is standing, because when you're standing, you're shuffling. So if you're washing the dishes here, you're moving around all the time with splashing water. So it's a perfect place for a mat. Standing mat here is in front of the sink. Another perfect place is in front of the stove. Because again, you're standing in front of the stove a long time. Your feet are scuffing your floor all the time. And you've got fat dripping over the so guys, the kitchen is the most high traffic area in the house. Mats are vital. In this case, again, the installer has done a good job by educating their clients. And here we have the mat strategically placed exactly as we recommend. Right. Guys, okay, now we're here in the dining room in the house. You can see on the floor here is a beautiful carpet. People said, I've spent such a lot of money on my floor, why must I cover it with a carpet? This carpet really brings out the floor, but it serves two purposes. One purpose is that it looks great on a wooden floor, and of course, your chairs are not rubbing up and down, they're actually on the carpet when you're eating. That will really save your wooden floor from being damaged. However, all chairs must have felt pads, and just now we're going to show you our maintenance kit and how to apply these felt pads to the chairs if you don't have a carpet. Right, if I can just show you another couple of things, guys, please notice these curtains are closed at the moment. If you're going out of the house, if your customers are leaving their homes and you've got direct sunlight blaring onto the floor, it's a very good idea to close the curtains. You don't want sun blaring on the floor all day. It will fade your floor, it will dry your floor out and can cause shrinkage gaps. So guys, curtains closed while you're not in the house is a good idea. I'm going to open the curtains now. Please notice also the windows are open. This is important because if you've got windows open, it's bringing in air and the moisture from the outside, the air moisture. If you've got windows closed and you've got sun shining through the floor, you're going to create a hot box. Once you create this hot box, we call this a greenhouse effect. This could cause this whole floor to shrink back and fail. It can cause a huge amount of problems. So guys, please, windows open are vital when you're living in the house. If you go away for a length of time, you really need to have someone come in daily to open windows and close windows to maintain the floor. If you have direct sunlight, it can be a big problem. With all Suntups floors, we send out no charge with all orders a Suntups starter maintenance kit. Right? This is a kit that you will hand to your customer once you finish the job. So at least you're giving your customer a start of how to maintain a wooden floor. And also not only how to maintain, in the kit exact directions and instructions and what to expect and not what to expect from wooden floor. So you can go through this with your customer once you finish the job, so your customer knows exactly how to maintain their floor. We have a kit for a sealed finish floor. This is for sealed finish. And we have also a section if your customer's got an oiled finish, like this floor we're doing today, an oil finish floor. They're very similar. Only difference, the oil finish floor needs to be maintained with oil. A sealed floor is just cleaned. Right, so while we're talking about oil floors and sealed floors, just like to mention the philosophy behind oil floor is that an oil floor, if maintained, lasts forever. You'll never have to resand and seal this floor ever. With a sealed floor, there's no maintenance, and as long as you're living within the correct methods of living with a wooden floor, then you would have to do no maintenance whatsoever. Your floor should last you about 25 years before you need to reseal this floor. I'd also like to, while I'm talking about oil and seal floors and maintenance, show you a piece of timber, because a lot of people think to sand and seal a floor, that's how you maintain. A floor is factory sanded. It should never be resanded ever again. It's already been sanded at the factory, so you don't want to do it again. If you maintain your floor correctly, as we're explaining to you now in this video, then you should not have to resand your floor. Every time you sand your floor, you're taking 1 or 2 millimeters off the top face. After a couple of sands, you can throw that floor away because it's going to start cracking, right? So sanding and sealing, guys, is not the way to maintain a floor. What I'm explaining to you today is really the way to maintain. Right, so let's carry on with the bag. Also in the bag, we've got felt pads. So we will give you all the felt pads for free. These are Suntups self-adhesive felt pads. And you will stick this on the furniture legs of all the movable furniture for your customers at no charge. We offer this as a service because if you don't do it, the customers more than likely also won't do it. And then you can be called back for scratching. And that we don't want to do. So felt pads all in the bag, and we'll show you just now how to apply these pads. Also in the bag, we've got a cleaner. So if you're doing a sealed floor, you will get a free cleaner, so your customer knows exactly how to clean their floor with the product. If you've got an oil floor like this one here, you'll get what we call a wax cleaner. The wax cleaner has a little bit of wax in it, so every time you clean, you're actually also maintaining. However, oil floor needs to be maintained, as we said, and you'll never have to resand the floor. It'll be there for life, as long as you maintain. We believe the first year, and I'm talking about a domestic environment, not a commercial environment. The first year, you should do this oiling 4 times a year. The second year, 3 times a year. That's every 4 months. The third year, twice a year, and thereafter only once a year. That's not a lot of effort. And fortunate as we are in South Africa, we have domestic help. And your domestic help can do this maintaining for you if you are too lazy. So either way, you're going to get it done. Right, so just now we're going to do some demos for you to show you exactly how to maintain these floors. If I can just run through a few points in our guide. Basically, it says here to the customer about felt pads on the furniture legs. It's vital. It talks about keeping your shoes in good repair. You know, high heel shoes without the tip is going to cause little holes throughout your floor, and it can cause denting as well. If anyone says their floors don't dent, all wooden floors will dent. Of course, the harder the floor, the less it will dent, or the less possibility of it denting. So, but shoes, guys, remember what we said when we started showing you about the maintenance? Rather use inside shoes. If you're having a party, let the guys dance in their socks. Nothing wrong with that. Right. Please, as we said earlier on about the curtains, do not leave direct sunlight on all the floors. It's going to cause shrinkage and can cause delaminations of your engineered floors. It can cause a lot of problems. Keep your curtains closed if you have direct sunlight coming in. If you've got a porch with an overhang, then it's no problem. Other thing is never use a wet mop. You know, wood loves water. So the minute you use a wet mop, it just drinks that water in and it starts expanding and can cause a lot of problems. The mop can only be damp, and you only damp mop your floor once a week. It's the sweeping or the dust mopping that you can do daily. Right, here we said, frequently sweep or dust mop your floor. The reason for this is that fine dust with people walking with shoes can cause fine scratchings. So to avoid this, keep your floors clean and keep your shoes clean as well, your interior shoes. So fine dust causes fine scratching, so you have to use a dust mop daily. Right, guys, it's all in here, installation, your care, and we're going to do some demos now with you on the cleaning. But back quickly to one last thing, beware of the greenhouse effect. A lot of people have holiday homes, they close the windows, they go back to Johannesburg or back to where they live, and then you've got this high humidity in the house and a high heat. This is a major problem. It can ruin a floor that can cost 200,000-300,000 rand. Guys, you need to have dehumidification, or you need to keep curtains closed and windows open and someone coming in daily to freshen the air. Right, let's move on to some practical stuff. The first practical thing we're going to do is show you how to apply your felt pads or felt floor protectors onto the furniture legs. Remember, these come to you free of charge with all Suntups floors. Do it for your customer, it makes an impression and will save you coming back for the scratches. Right, so let's show you how to do this. You'll take the chair. It's going to lean it on the back of another chair to make it a bit easier for myself. There we go. And now we can take 4 felt protectors. These felt protectors, guys, are peel and stick. So if you had nails like somebody else, but not like mine, but that wasn't too bad. Okay, there we go. So that's the first one on. And now for the next one, simple. Right, there's the last one on, a little bit of pressure. And now I'd like to show you what a difference this makes when putting a wooden chair on a wooden floor. Now you can see the beautiful sliding motion, no scratching. Now you try that with a chair that has no felt pads. Do it, it's a small thing to do, it makes a big impression. We're back in the kitchen. This is a dust mop. It's a microfiber mop. It's designed for actually collecting dust on the mop, unlike what a broom does, which just pushes it forward. This mop actually collects the dust. Please guys, when you wash this mop, you can wash it in your washing machines, but don't tumble dry it. You'll lose your microfiber. Rather hang it to dry on the line. It's the best way to look after it because these are all rewashable. Right, here we go. Just to show you with a dust mop, you really need to move forward all the time. It's not a broom that you do this because all you're doing is putting your dust up and down. So the best way is always move forward. And when you turn around, it's designed to turn and bring it back. And turn it again and go forward. So you're always moving forward and keeping the dust in front of you. Okay? As simple as that. Now that area now you can say is dust free. Let's have a look. We picked up a little bit of dust. That will stop your fine scratchings. As I said earlier on, if you're walking on a floor, it's got fine dust, you're going to get fine scratchings. So this is a daily routine. Simple to do. Okay, guys, now we're going to show you how to clean the floors. This is a weekly process. You don't want to do this every day because it contains water or it works with water. Please, guys, once a week is the recipe here. This is the cleaner. This is an oil floor, as I said. So we've got a cleaner called a wax cleaner. So every time you clean, you're also actually maintaining. If this was a sealed floor, we would just use the regular cleaner. Right, wax cleaner, all the languages, if you just open it, whatever language you speak, it's the instructions of the mixture, of how many caps or how many millimeters per 5 or 10 liters of water. In this case, we have a bucket that contains 5 liters of water. Here we know it's 100 millimeters for 5 liters. So we're going to put this in a mixing jar. We're going to measure out 100 mils. There we are, 75. Right, there we go, 100 mil of cleaner, and we're going to add it to our water. Right, you'll notice that I've got 2 buckets here. One bucket where I'm actually putting in the wax cleaner, and the other bucket is plain water. So when I clean the floor, I'm going to rinse the mop back in the clean water and put it back into the solution again, so we're not moving dirt around again. Right, so here we go. In the bucket, remember you can't put water on the floor, so you've got to squeeze all the water out. All you want is a damp mop. All out. Right, now we can clean this floor. You start here. And as I said, guys, this is a once a week situation. And this is the same process that you'll do prior to oiling, because you want a clean floor when you're maintaining. Right, so let's have a look. Bit of dirt. We'll now rinse that in the water, in the plain water, and we'll put it back into the solution to get the wax cleaner solution back in. Right, squeeze it all out. And then the same thing again. Cleaning with the wax cleaner, adding a wear layer of wax as we're going along. And that's it. Quite simple. So when this floor is now dry, you can maintain with oil. And remember, the oil, as we said earlier on, it's only a couple of times a year, so it's not a big issue. Right, guys, here we have the Parker oil. And ladies, let your husbands do the job, because this is the only time you're going to see them on their hands and knees. It is a hands and knees job. Right, you need to open this bottle. It doesn't open easily. It's got child protection, so you need to squeeze and turn. And it's open. One last thing is to get the, I'll just use my key here. Pull out the little tag. It's open. And a third safety lock. Gee, the Germans really go to town, eh? Right, here we got it. Parquet oil, hands and knees, simple. 1 liter of parquet oil does 100 square meters of flooring. It's really a minimal thing. You do this regularly, the floor will last for life and get better and better and better. Right, so we call it a drizzle and wipe. There's a bit of a drizzle, and we're going to wipe it in. As simple as that. A bit of a drizzle, and wipe it in. That's all it is. If your husband doesn't want to do it, you can do it. And if you both don't want to do it, get your lady of the house, your domestic worker. I don't think she's got an option, because I'm sure you'll tell her to do it. So there we go. Drizzle and wipe, floor maintained. Simple. And there's the floor for life. We've shown you the whole maintenance procedure of maintaining a wooden floor, whether it's sealed or whether it's oiled. I'll just run quickly back to the flooring itself. The way not to maintain a floor is by sanding and sealing. You don't want to do that. You want to go through all the procedures that we've shown you today, and you won't have to sand and seal. You'll be looking after your floor. It's not a difficult thing to live with a wooden floor. If there's tiles, you've still got to clean, so there's no extra work. Maintaining with oil, a little bit of extra, but then your floor is there for life, so you never have to ever replace your floor. Guys, sanding and sealing, as I said, it ruins your floor. On a sealed floor, one day if you have to, don't sand and seal, polish and seal. Polish and seal means that you take a 150 grit sandpaper, you clean the whole floor with this 150 grit. What it does is cleans, and it allows another coat to key on top of the old coats. So you get a 75% better looking floor once you abrade and seal. You'll never, of course, be back to a new floor. That's not a big issue. In fact, it's a positive thing, because if you've got some scratches in your floor and you abrade and seal, you're going to keep the deep ones. Those are your memories. It could have been your child 20 years ago that made that scratch. So keep your history on your wooden floor. It's like a history book in your home. Right, so just to run through, remember Suntups gives a free maintenance kit with all their wooden flooring. If it's an oil floor, if it's a sealed floor, we give instructions to the customer. It's their right to know how to look after a floor. We've got the oils, we've got the cleaners, the wax cleaner, the ordinary cleaner, we've got the felt pads. We've given you the kit. Guys, give it to your customer, explain to them how to maintain the floor. It'll save us a lot, and maintain the good name that wooden floors deserve, because it's the gangsters of the trade that create bad names in our industry. Guys, here it is. Thanks for listening. Appreciate your time. And you need anything from Suntups, give us a call. We're always there for you. Thank you very much.